So the big news coming out of Tottenham Hotspur today is Ange Postecoglou has gone. The man who delivered the club's first trophy in 17 years and the first trophy in Europe for 41 years with last month's Europa League triumph over Manchester United in Bilbao has left the club. He wanted to carry on. He said publicly he felt like the job wasn't done. But Daniel Levy has decided to make a change in the dugout and the Australian has gone. He's clearly paid the price for the Premier League performance this season, which saw the club have a record 22 defeats and finish 17th. But for a lot of fans who actually originally wanted him out because of that reason, they'd had a change of heart after he delivered trophy success, just like he said he would. But unfortunately for them, the man has gone. So it leads on to what happens next. We still await to find out which manager will come in instead. The leading contenders remain the same ones as has been mentioned pretty much all summer. Thomas Frank of Brentford, Marco Silva of Fulham. There had been some interest in Oliver Glasner, but it seems likely he will stay at Crystal Palace after winning the FA Cup and qualifying for Europe. Or perhaps there could be someone else who comes out of the woodwork in the coming days going into the new season. First of all, top of the in tray, Captain Son Heung-min. He's had 10 years at the club. He finally won his first trophy by lifting the Europa League last month. But there is interest from Saudi Arabia in him, and perhaps this is the right time for him to move on. But it remains to be seen whether the club will let him go with 1 year left on his contract. Christian Romero, the centre-back, the Argentine World Cup winning centre-back, who was so influential in that win over Manchester United last month, agitated at times or hinted last season that he would be ready to move, potentially to La Liga, with interest from Atletico Madrid. Likewise, Rodrigo Bentancur, who the club have been trying to offer a new contract, and it remains to be seen whether he stays. There's also some interest from Atletico Madrid in him too. What happens with Mathys Tel, the lone striker from Bayern Munich, only 19, came in January, had a mixed time during that first 6 months, that initial loan spell. There is an option there for Spurs to sign him permanently for about £45 million. But given that it's not like Spurs will have absolutely bundles of money to spend in the summer, it may well be down to the manager, or he'll have a big say in whether he wants to spend a big portion of it on the French youngster or not. Then that's even before we talk about incomings, because obviously Spurs have Champions League football this season. One thing's for sure, there will be plenty of names mentioned throughout the summer. I would not be surprised if the likes of Eberechi Eze at Crystal Palace and his colleague Mark Guehi, who Spurs did put in a bid in for in January, are among those names who very much are in the frame and Spurs might be after